Good evening from Kirksville, Missouri. This is Randy Curvin, and this is Rantin Randy's Rant. I'm sorry I'm late. Uh, I've had a number of things going on, including trouble from the neighbor again. And then she threatened me when the police finally left. I went to McDonald's. Uh, I paid for somebody's order that was $15.56. Mine was around 6:47. They're not answering their phone. That's part of the reason I'm late too. Oh, let's see. Where in the hell? Let me get Donnie down. I don't promise to do a long show tonight. My blood pressure is probably up high as hell now, but I know how to handle that too. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Oh. All right, got one person out there. Where do I start today? Okay, CNN today uh, showed just some of what the far right is planning and has been planning for January 17th or possibly on January 20th. Another assault on the Capitol or perhaps on the White House. See, he'll be out of town. He'll be at Mar-a-Lago. And that was also a signal to do this kind of shit on the 17th. And don't have it on the 17th. Wait till I leave for Mar-a-Lago on the 19th. I know what the hell's going on. No, all of us do. And yet they cling on to him. My concerns are if Twitter, Don, is still in power, we will see a lack of cooperation from police and the National Guard again. 17 already arrested, charged with federal uh, violations at the Capitol, inside the Capitol. More to follow. None are Antifa. Sorry about that, Republicans. You're dead ass wrong. And Fox and Newsmax and One America Network News Network, it's wrong. They're lying to you. And these Trump supporters, like those, I'm not saying they're all bad, uh, but you've been lied to so much you don't know that the ones that were at the Capitol, that's a danger to our democracy and leaves us vulnerable to our enemies. Uh, these at the Capitol, you need to understand, they were domestic terrorists. They didn't come here from somewhere else. They came from their homes, like Florida, Alabama, and other cities like that, and as far away as the way to be there. And their leader has to be removed. We can't take a chance. This man has the nuclear codes. Shit. Well, I'm playing to an audience of one tonight. Uh, I'll start at page one. Hopefully, some other people show up. Don't blame me if you don't. I'm late. I'm upset. And I really should have just put out a notice and canceled the show. But I feel obligated when I tell people I'm going to do something, I do it. Donnie refused to send in the National Guard, and he lied about it, against those he incited. Uh, Twitter took him down to prevent any more incitement from the President of the United States. Uh, Cuomo invited Cruz and Rubio on the show, and everybody knows they won't come on there. They won't come on to defend why they went back to the floor to vote against certification of Pennsylvania's electors. Uh, and that was after the attack on the Capitol. Meanwhile, last night, Laura, I'm so white Ingram, blaming Democrats for fomenting hate against Donnie's base, saying if they hadn't attacked the Capitol, uh, it was let me figure out what my thought was on that. Uh, oh, she was saying that if the Capitol attack hadn't happened, the Democrats or the D.C. establishment, she calls them. Hello, Brian. Glad to see you, brother. Uh, she was saying uh, that the regular media, ABC, NBC, uh, CBS, MSNBC, and CNN have always not tried to understand his base. No, not going to understand. I don't think they understand why it was all right to lock people in cages, number one. And he started out that way. He banned Muslims from this country, from certain countries. No, I mean, that's just normal shit that an authoritarian comes in. That's what he's going to do. And that's what he's been. Uh, yeah, actually, he's been a tyrant. Yeah, her statement was the DC establishment uh, was against all Trump supporters and has been from the start. How sick a woman is this? They're still clinging to his ass. And like I said, and this is a direct quote from the show, the fact is the media never tried to understand Trump's supporters. I guess it's selective memory about Charlottesville, Virginia. Damn. Again and again, fomenting hate for Democrats and referring all the way back to Hillary's basket of deplorables, which they have turned out to be. Talking about Black Lives Matter attacking federal buildings, pushing the hate, making a case against an organization they maligned as a hate group and always have maligned them as a hate group. A lot of the shit has been debunked. It was the right terrorists after dark moving in those areas where George Floyd demonstration was going on, destroying federal buildings and police stations, particularly in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay. It was found that one of the guys burning down the police station was on the right, a far right domestic terrorist. They show up after dark, mixed in with the crowd. Some were disguised. There is no particular Antifa hardware or T-shirts and all this bullshit. They're not even an organization. Because if they were, you Republicans tell me where they're headquartered. Or where's their website? And Biden had it right yesterday. These were a bunch of thugs and white supremacists. Articles of impeachment to come on one article, incitement of insurrection. And listen to what a new Republican representative of the House was saying. She got out there, knew at her job, and said Wednesday to the crowd outside the Capitol, "This is battle." Hitler was right on one thing. He said, "Whoever has the youth has the future." Friday, she apologized and said that Hitler was an evil dictator. And once that's the problem. The problem remains because you can't take back what you've already said. They know that. Mo Brooks at the incitement rally at the White House. "Today is the day we take names and start kicking ass." Uh, Incitement. Derek Evans, West Virginia state legislator who filmed himself at the insurrection, uh, has been taken into custody. The founder of the Hawaii chapter of the Proud Boys has been charged and arrested. The man who sat at Pelosi's desk and stole mail, arrested and charged. Uh, a mob that was also heard to say, "Where is Pence?" They were planning on hanging Mike Pence. And that shows you right there. Mike Pence is afraid of Donald Trump's base, or he would call for the 25th Amendment. I think it's just out of fear that somebody will kill him if he did so. And the man with the zip ties uh, to take prisoners, hostages. Okay, where he got those zip ties, they broke into the box outside either the Senate or the House chambers and stole them. And Pelosi during this time was being hunted. You were hearing, "Where is Pelosi? Where is the bitch?" And they were wanting to shoot her. They wanted to hang Mike Pence. And like I said, I don't blame him. He's afraid of Donnie and Donnie's base. Besides, the cabinet is emptying uh, out like someone yelled fire. You can't make this shit up, people. As the White House empties, they are leaving an unstable, delusional man desperate to remain in power. Twitter, of course, took Donnie down after announcement by Donnie. For those who ask, I will be not attending the inaugural. Wink, wink, nod, nod. That's when you need to take action. When I get out of town. And that's exactly why Twitter took him down, because they knew statements like that is inciting violence. Uh, and it's all over right wing media online that they have the plans laid out. They have for some time. So Twitter took down his accounts permanently. I think he's also been taken off of Facebook. They're saying indefinitely, along with Instagram and some of the others. So many of them, I can't name them now. And hopefully, Parler has been taken down. That's where some of the planning for what happened was being done. Uh, and prosecutors charged a man, I think he's 70 years old, from Alabama, with having 11 Molotov cocktails in his truck near the Capitol, and also a handgun and an assault rifle. Well, I'm getting through this better than I thought. It just makes me feel better to take it out on him. Uh, Tweety Turd took to the presidential, saying that the platforms are being run by the Democrats. In other words, Twitter, Facebook, and all that, they're run by the Democrats. So that's about the time that they decide, all right, and permanently, you do not have an audience on Twitter anymore. And I'm wondering what kind of consequences are going to come from that, because he already has been on one of his White House advisors' Twitter feed, still barking out and trying to incite violence. Let's take a look at Pelosi's plan. Plan A, have Trump resign. Plan B, 25th Amendment. Not going to happen because Mike Pence is scared of the base and of Donnie. Plan C, impeachment again. McConnell has already said last evening that the House impeaches him. The trial will be on the 20th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So he'll already be gone, supposedly. I'm saying they're figuring wrong on that. He's going to stick around. They will have to carry him out of there. Murkowski demanding the president resign. When asked if he doesn't, uh, she said she would change parties. She said if her party is the party of Trump, she would change parties. Adam Schiff on Rachel says there will be an impeachment trial if Donnie won't resign and the 22nd Amendment won't be invoked. There will be an impeachment trial in the House. He guarantees that. On Capitol grounds, there were neo Nazis with t shirts like 6MWE, which stands for 6 million weren't enough, which means, I already read that part. Uh, and Camp Auschwitz, uh, with the statement below it, work makes you free, which is what was on the gate at that concentration camp. Remember Charlottesville? Jews will not replace us. That's for you, my Republican friends. Find people on both sides. Yeah. These are the groups that Donnie refused to condemn throughout his regime. And I do mean regime. Uh, what we have pointed to all along, he is who he is. He knew what his son, Mo Brooks, and uh, his sons, and Giuliani would do uh, by inciting his supporters. He promised to walk with him. Did he? No. He went in to watch it on TV. To his supporters, 4 lives on your side have died, and 1 Capitol policeman hit in the head with a fire extinguisher. The theme of 2021 should be never forget, brothers and sisters. And I'll hit this story. I meant to do that last, but online, the plans have been there for months. Uh, Posting about storming the Capitol has been there for months, telling them to bring guns, tents, water, food. The neo Nazis, the Boogaloo Boys, and the Proud Boys were all there. The intent was war. And I want to thank all my progressive friends all over the country for not getting involved in their shit. They tried to blame it on us, but it is clearly by the ones being identified because they were stupid enough to take selfies or end up on somebody's news feed that we're finding out who all they were. And the unstable man child in the people's house needs to go now. Oh, that's about all I got. Thank you all for being here. Uh, hello, Velda. Hello, Brian. Hello, John. And let's see who else we got. And I apologize again. I was a little late. But like I said, I've got plenty of reason to be upset between my neighbor, who is now threatening me. We couldn't understand what she said, but she called me out by name. And I said something back through the door, and she said, I don't fucking care. Or part of it was, thanks, Randy, because the police told her that I saw the man go in. I got back where I was overcharged at McDonald's. I get back, I see him go in the doorway. 20 minutes later, they're out in the hall wrestling, fighting, and him cussing. I told the police that. I told the dispatcher, and then I spoke with the police while they were talking to her. And then she comes back and yells in front of my door. I've called the landlord. He hadn't called me back. All right. I'm sorry I got on here and got all upset. And that's what I'm wondering about too, Belda. Uh, are they going to call out the National Guard on between the 17th and the 19th? The Department of Defense came out and blamed DC for not uh, they were talking about the 4th and 5th of January that DC said they didn't need any help. I don't know. That's a Donald appointee. So I don't know that I believe what that man's saying. All right. That's about all I got. I am glad this is the last day of the week. Hopefully, I won't have any more trouble out of the neighbor. But if I do, and besides that, if my landlord doesn't call me back, I'm going to leave him another message. It's getting to the point where it's dangerous to live here. We got two nuts, the one that lives in 5 and her ex boyfriend. Both of them have criminal records, and she's on probation. Holy shit. Well, I'll get through this. I always do. Uh, But that really put us close, being charged $15.56 for $6 and something in food because it will take 3 days after I talk to them to get the money back into the account at the bank. All right, that's about all I got. I'm going to leave you with peace, resist, persist, and I insist. Keep calling Congress at 202 224 3121 and demand, tell the Republicans they need to go to him and tell him to resign because uh, we know that Pence hadn't got the guts to do anything, but they need to tell him enough is enough. Resign, leave your job. What job? He doesn't do a job. All right. Go down, like, and share. If you're new here, please subscribe. We're building this for the Blue Dot family. And looks like we've got a long ways to go. Hopefully, we're not going to end up in a civil war, but the other side is really pushing the envelope on it. All right. Have a good one. I know I will. I'll be out there later on uh, sharing it. And that's why I always want you help me out with that sharing, particularly this YouTube show. It gets out a little slower because I'm usually the one that has to Share it everywhere. Help me out. And I will be attaching at the bottom the information on how you can help me out. I realize that it's very hard on everybody right now, but always keep in mind this show is free to anybody to watch it. It's just every now and then it helps out on some of the bills to have a little something coming in. All right. Have a good one. I'll see you later. Share this shit. Bye bye now. Share this shit.